Hello and welcome to the second StakeAHorse.com video tutorial. This tutorial will be all about posting stakes. In order to post a stake, you first have to be logged into the forum. I'm logged into NitroViper. Then let's scroll down to the staking headquarters. Here you choose a subforum depending on where you play your poker. I'm a PokerStars man myself, so let's click on that. And here you see a list of all of the threads that have stakes in them. If the thread has open stakes in it, you'll see a nice shiny gold symbol. If the thread has no open stakes and all of the stakes are closed or taken, you see a grayed out dollar symbol. But we don't have to worry about that yet. To create a stake, let's click on the stake button in the upper left hand corner. And here you see all of the usual trappings for posting a thread in a forum. Title, message, tags, etc. But you also see this option, number of stakes you want to add to this thread. Stakes are contained in threads. You can't post just a stake. You have to post a thread and then put stakes in it. Okay, so let's fill this out. Title, test, video, stakes, message. These are the tutorial video stakes. And let's add 3 stakes to this thread. Click Submit New Thread, being redirected to the Edit Stakes panel. Okay, if you entered a number for how many stakes you want to add, you'll be taken to this Edit Stake screen. You can see there are 3 stakes here. And first, let's make this window a little bit bigger. I had to make the screen smaller in order to record this video. There we go. Okay, you can see there are 3 stakes here. Let's fill one in. First, you want the stake amount. That's pretty self-explanatory, just how much money you want to stake. Then you want to fill in the cut. This is your cut of the profits as a staker. If you enter 50% here and the player makes a profit of $10, then you'll get $5, 50% of that. If you enter 25% here and they make $10, you'll get $2.50. So that's pretty easy. Next is stake back. If you select yes, this option will require the player to first repay the whole stake before his cut is calculated for the profit. So if you stake him $10 with a staker's cut, so let's put that, here's him $10 with a staker's cut of 50%, and you select yes for stake back, and his total winnings come in at $20, he will first have to pay back that initial $10. So the profit to be divided is only $10. He has to pay back the whole stake before he gets any of the profit. So that's stake back. And next is makeup. And makeup is a bit more complicated. If you select yes for makeup, and if the player has lost you money on previous stakes, when the time comes to calculate the profit on this stake, he will first have to repay all of the money he's lost to you before the profit is calculated. So if you stake him, if he makes a profit of $10 in this stake, but he's lost you $1 on a previous stake, then he will first have to repay that $1. So the profit to be divided between you will only be $9, and he'll take his cut and you'll take your cut. The last 2 options are for score. We talked about score before in the profile video. If you check the Use Score checkbox and enter a score here, players will have to have at least that much score in order to apply for that stake. So you use this option if you want only trusted and talented players to apply for your stake. So if you put in a score of 300 here, the player will have to have 300 score to apply for this stake. And the score is the player points plus their staker points. Okay, let's fill in all of this info. That looks okay. $10, 50%. We'll select yes on stake back and yes on makeup here, and we won't use score for this one. Put it this 550. You can also use decimal amounts and put in 50%, and we'll require a score of, we'll be ridiculously demanding. We'll require a score of 1,000. Adding. Now here you see a list of all of the stakes you just added with all of the appropriate information. ID, it's just a stake ID. Amount, cut, stake back, makeup, horse, date, required score. And here you see that if you didn't require a score for the stake, it just says none. And delete. Oh, let's take a look at horse. Horse is just, if you don't already know, horse is just another name for a player. So the player of the stake, if you stake somebody, he's now the horse. And this is blank right now because the stake is open. So now you get a site title, stake horse. And this is the delete box. You can delete stakes, but you can only delete stakes that you haven't staked to anyone yet. You can only delete open stakes. If you have staked somebody and you're in this edit stakes panel, you'll see another section for closed stakes up here. So let's try deleting one of these stakes. Let's just delete the ridiculous one. Required score of 1,000. And it's gone. And down here you can go back to the thread. And let's make this smaller again. And you can see all of the info, status. This is, if the stake is open, this will be shiny. If the stake is closed, this will be grayed out. And the horse field will also be filled in because you'll have staked it to somebody. And you see ID, amount, cut, stake back, makeup, horse is empty, the date it's created, and the required score. And you can click this edit stakes link to go back to the edit stakes panel, and you can add a new stake, delete the other ones. Let's go back to the thread. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video on applying for stakes and choosing players for stakes.